So at the 97th Academy Awards / Oscars held on March 2nd, in the Best Supporting Actress category was Miss Zoe Saldana. She would end up taking home the award against Ariana Grande for Wicked and a few other folks that I can't honestly remember the names of. I'm just going to be for real. But Zoe ended up winning for the atrocity of a movie, Emilia Perez. I had also recently done a review on that film. I'll link it in the corner here if you'd like to check it out. I pretty much give all the reasons as to why I think that film should have never been made, but regardless, it was. She takes home the award, and in her speech she mentions her mom first, which people have made into so many memes already.
Mommy, thank you for letting me get the chance to play a woman like Rita. Thank you for recognizing that my role as Rita was the best part of a bad movie. Mommy.
And she also mentions her family, the director of Emilia Perez, and everyone else she worked with on the film along with her team. She also mentions her husband's beautiful hair after a good bit of theatrical crying. I couldn't really figure out if it was real or not, but we're just gonna skedaddle past that. She did feel a little embarrassed about it, but flattered, I'm sure. And then she went on to say that she was the first actress of Dominican descent or origin. I think she used origin. Dominican origin to win this award. Overall, I think she is a great actress, and I think she plays the crap out of her roles, but there were so many movies that she had done that were so much better than this one that she could have won prior for. Even though I do think she did an amazing job in this film in terms of her acting, the movie was still trash, okay? I'm just gonna say that. But her acting in the movie was still good. It just that the character wasn't great. So yeah, but she did play the crap out of the role regardless. So it really felt like, you know, they were just kind of propping this film up because it showed a trans woman's story, and that was kind of the only reason that they kept winning, because it really couldn't have been because the movie plot was genius. So let's be for real. Now after she leaves the stage and goes backstage to answer some interview questions is when things got pretty interesting. She was doing pretty well with her answers until we got to the very last question coming from a Mexican outlet.
Hello, Zoe. I'm Cristina Ibanez. I'm from Webedia, representing Sensa Cine, which is a Mexican outlet. I gotta say that it has been a lot of things has been said about the movie, about trans people, about empowering women, but less has been said about Mexico, which is the heart of it. So, what would you say about this, the heart of this movie, but also about the topic who is really hurtful for us Mexicans?
And the answer was a little dicey. Let's say that.
First of all, I'm very, very sorry that you and so many Mexicans felt offended. That was never our intention. We spoke and we came from a place of love, and I will stand by that.
First of all, we had the "I'm sorry that you and so many Mexicans felt offended" in the beginning. That was kind of what really took me out, to be honest, and had a lot of people floored for sure. Then she goes on to say, "I don't share your opinion."
I don't share your opinion.
I almost fell out of my chair. I'm just gonna be honest. I almost fell completely out of my chair. Not because it was broken, just out of pure shock. Because it obviously doesn't matter if you share the opinion or not, the Mexican community feels offended. Then she says the heart of the film wasn't Mexico, because the film was not about a country, but about 4 women.
For me, the heart of this movie was not Mexico. We weren't making a film about a country. We were making a film about 4 women.
Yes.
And these women could have been Russian, could have been Dominican, could have been black from Detroit, could have been from Israel, could have been from Gaza. And these women are still very universal women that are struggling every day at trying to survive systemic oppression and trying to find their most authentic voices.
So I'm guessing those 4 women were Emilia, Rita, Jessie, and maybe the 4th one was Epiphania, the girl that Emilia was messing with before she died? I don't know. But I was very confused as to who the 4th person was. But let me know if I'm wrong on that list. So my question to her after hearing that would be, if it wasn't about Mexico, why base the story in that country and talk about all the sensitive issues plaguing that country in the film? That's what I would like to know. Why talk about it? Why bring it up if it wasn't about Mexico? make sense. So it just seems like you're basically using Mexico, if what you're saying is correct. It sounds like you're basically just using Mexico as a backdrop and implementing the culture and everything that's going on socio-politically and just throwing it on in there just for fun. And obviously that looks bad. That would look even worse than you just saying it was about Mexico and saying that, you know, we made a mistake. We didn't really represent it well. Overall, it really just came across as though she wasn't really checking for what anybody else thought. Like, she just had her thoughts and that was it. And it didn't really matter what anybody else had to say. It just came across as, I don't care. She really came across as, I don't care what the heck you have to say to me right now. I just don't. It was just very elitist, very, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Very, very condescending. That's the word I was looking for. Condescending as hell. And it also doesn't help that she has been in hot water with the Black community as well. The Black community has had quite a lot to say with regards to Zoe in the past. I don't know if y'all remember that Nina movie that came out back in 2016 that she's been probably trying to forget. That was like a blip on her career where she was like, ooh, that was a really bad decision, but I did it anyway, so we're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. But obviously, you know, people are not gonna look the other way because it was like, did you really just do that? Did you really just play Nina Simone? Really? Instead of them just looking for someone that looked more like Nina Simone, they were just like, you'll do. When there's so many actresses out there that would have done an amazing job with this role and look more like Nina, you wouldn't have to do all that you did to Zoe to that person to make her look like Nina Simone. Like, what was that? Now, I personally wouldn't say that actors in these cases are stealing the roles from others, but they sure as heck aren't helping by not simply turning them down. Like, just don't take the role. Let somebody else get the opportunity. It's that simple. In Emilia Perez, it was rather irritating that they didn't even try to look for Mexicans to play in parts in this movie. They were just like, oh, we couldn't find Mexican talent. Did you look? Or did you write the script and was like, I only want this person to play in this role. I don't really want to audition anybody. Nobody else is needed. It's gonna be Selena Gomez. It's gonna be Zoe Saldana. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, did you even look? Anyway, after watching this movie, I'm sure most of the Mexican actors and actresses out there that probably could have been considered are happy that they weren't given the opportunity to take part in it because of how bad it was. It would have been embarrassing more than likely to look at your Mexican friends and family and be like, yeah, I was a part of that project. Yeah. On top of it all, people have been questioning Zoe's authenticity when it comes to her pride in being Dominican because of how her career has panned out. And she also hasn't been that vocal about being of Hispanic heritage up until this point either, but I'm just gonna say allegedly because I haven't been paying that close of attention to her, honestly. But her interview answer was just ultimately very dismissive, and it just seemed like she was above all and any critique. And I'm sure that was probably like the tipping point for a lot of people watching that. It was very irritating to watch, especially when she said that she welcomed conversations from Mexicans that held the interviewer's sentiment, but we all know that she wasn't actually interested in carrying on any type of conversation or communication with people that held that sentiment.
But I'm also always open to sit down with all of my Mexican brothers and sisters and with love and respect, having a great conversation on how Emilia could have been done better. I have no problem. I welcome it.
The attitude was just very disrespectful, and it gets even worse when you consider how many times she's just chosen to play a role as a person of another culture that isn't hers and doesn't know how to take critique. If you're gonna play that role, like, take the critique with it.
Zoe Saldana, come to the front. You need to fire your publicist. The fact that you were not prepared for this question speaks volumes. Let me tell you how I would have answered. I am, of course, so proud of this film and my role in it, and I'm so honored that the Academy chose to recognize me for my performance. And of course, I believe that we did this story justice, and it hurts my heart that anyone would disagree, but I have to hold space for the fact that Mexican people can and should express how they feel about this film, because our job as storytellers is to facilitate conversation. And sometimes those conversations aren't ones that I agree with, but because they are happening, I believe that we've done our job.
That's just me, you know, those are just my thoughts with regards to Zoe. I just thought that was such a tone-deaf response. It was like, girl, did you even think about your answer before you opened your mouth? Anyway, oh, y'all let me know your thoughts on this one down in the comments, but I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.